All right. Hello, everyone. Namaste. So we will go ahead and get started in easy seat today. So legs can be crossed, one can be extended. Whatever is comfortable for you, maybe sitting on a block to elevate the hips, make it a bit more comfortable. And maybe begin to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Start to bring yourself to this moment, to your breath. Hands can be on the knees, on the thighs, maybe palms facing up or down. See if you can lean the torso back a little bit, making sure the shoulders are stacked over the hips. Maybe you'll start to feel the core engage a little bit as you do that. We'll take an inhale together, fill up the belly, feel the chest rise. Hold at the top, and exhale, let it all out. We'll do that again. Inhale, feeling the belly fill up. Chest is rising. Hold. And exhale. Releasing everything that doesn't serve you. Letting go of any expectations. Anything that's happened during the busy holiday season, New Year's season. Happy New Year, by the way, everyone. And just letting it all go for this next hour, knowing that you are here with yourself, with the bodies, the energy around you. And all that matters is what happens within the four corners of your mat. Maybe you start to hear those inhales and those exhales. On the exhales, you can imagine you're fogging up a mirror in front of you, but keeping your mouth closed. So that'll close up the throat a little bit, just increase that heat as we breathe. Our ocean's breath, or our ujjayi breath, as we call it in yoga. Take an inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Maybe thumbs rest on that third eye in between the eyebrows. And just think of an intention you'd like to set for your practice. It can come to you in the form of a feeling, a thought, a word. And just setting it in the present tense. Maybe I am, I have, I release. Take one more breath to seal that intention in, knowing that this peace, this stillness, you can always come back to at any time during your practice and throughout your day. Take an inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, right hand down to the side, outside of the mat, taking a side stretch, left bicep in line with the left ear, keeping the left sit bone grounded down to the mat. Take another inhale to lift back up through center, and exhale, left fingertips graze the ground next to your mat, right arm reaching up and over. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the knees. And we'll take a few seated cat-cows. Inhale, reach the chest forward. And exhale, chin to chest, pushing those thighs away. Inhale, reaching forward, opening up the heart. And exhale, pushing back, feeling the stretch in the upper back. Moving with your own breath for a few rounds. Eventually find some stillness. And we'll just go ahead and plant the hands out in front of us, uncross the legs, take them behind us for tabletop. Maybe you can keep the toes tucked here and just rock forward and back, starting to warm up the wrists, the fingers. Making sure all of those finger knuckles are grounded down to the mat. Imagining you're gripping the mat between that index finger and the thumb. Maybe fingers can point out to the sides, rock side to side a bit. And if it's okay with your wrists and your hands, flipping the palms to face up, maybe curling the fingers, bending the elbows. Starting to listen to your body. What is it telling you to do? What feels good? Where do we need to back off? Go ahead and find a neutral hand position. Tuck the toes, and we're just going to sit back. So getting a nice deep foot stretch, Achilles stretch here. And just to further warm up those hands, maybe you can start to open and close the fingers, maybe rolling the wrists. Start to feel a burn in the forearms if you're flicking the fingers here. Palms can just be down on the thighs, maybe on the hips. And if you'd like to try maybe lifting up one knee off the mat, other knee, lots of core here, keeping the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And if you're ready and would like to try, without using your hands, to pop both knees off the mat, keeping the spine tall. It's okay if we fall, we can try it again. Bringing them back down, back up. You'll feel that in the ankles, in the feet, the toes, as we build up that strength. Eventually, wherever we're at, take an inhale, and on your exhale, plant the hands, straighten out the legs. It's a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins or the thighs, straightening out the back. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, half lift. Toes point out on a diagonal. Heels are together. On your exhale, bend down, modified yogi squat. Hands can stay down on the mat, maybe to a block. And if we're ready, we can start to rise up, encouraging the knees towards the pinky toe side of the feet. You can rock side to side, maybe pushing the backs of the hands to the knees. We'll take a few pumps, so plant the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lower back down, modified yogi squat. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, lower back down. Here, we'll just walk the hands forward a bit. Push the hips back. Maybe the heels come closer to the mat. And this will just be a deep hip stretch, groin stretch, pushing the knees back. And now walk the hands all the way forward, straighten out the legs, heels come down to the mat, downward facing dog. Maybe if the hamstrings are tight, we can widen out the stance, bend one knee at a time. Again, just moving intuitively, moving with your breath, your body. Find some stillness. Again, thinking of those hands, are those fingers completely grounded down onto the mat? Begin to look forward, shift forward, it's high plank position. Push the ground away. Shift back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, look forward, high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, just like that. Shift forward, high plank. Really feeling those shoulder blades pushing away from each other. Holding for 3. Belly button is drawing up into the spine for 2. Pushing those heels back with energy. And 1, lower the knees down, shift forward. Elbows are close to the rib cage as you lower all the way down. Forehead is down on the mat. Hands are on either side of the chest. Toenails are pressing down. Take an inhale, it's baby cobra. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, chest rises, baby cobra. And exhale, lower back down. One more time, just like that, baby cobra, and see if we can maybe lift the hands off the mat, really energizing that back body. Keep the gaze down slightly in front of you and see if we can lift the feet up. One more breath here. And on your exhale, lower back down. Hands can stay here if we're ready for up dog. They'll scooch further back towards the waist. On your inhale, lifting the thighs off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach those hips up, heels up, side out, heels sink down. That was beautiful. Let's do it again. Inhale, heels up, hips up, side out. Feet come together, back of the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg up. It's down dog split. Feel the weight evenly distributed between both hands. Feel the length in the left side body. And then keep that length, bend the right knee. It's scorpion, so we can stack the hip, right hip over the left. Maybe take some ankle circles or hip circles if that feels good. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. Begin to look forward. Exhale, step it through, runner's lunge. Shifting a bit here, forward and back. Opening up the chest. Take an inhale, sink the hips down. And exhale, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, root to rise. Hands reach up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the right foot steps back this time. It's the left runner's lunge. Take an inhale to drop those hips down. And exhale, clean step back, downward facing dog. Begin to look forward, shift forward on your inhale. And exhale, lower down either on the knees or from that high plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels up, hips up, side out, sink them down. Feet come together, back of the mat. Inhale, reach the left leg up this time. And same check-ins we did on the other side, keeping that length between the right shoulder blade and hip. And then when you feel ready, opening up the hip to stack it over the right. Maybe taking those ankle circles, hip circles. Inhale, reach the left leg back out. Begin to look forward, step forward, runner's lunge. Again, rocking forward and back here, feeling that stretch in the front of the right hip. Take an inhale. And exhale, step the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it down. Generous bend in the knees. This time we'll just roll up one vertebrae at a time, keeping head, neck, and shoulders heavy till the very top. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up, and exhale, melt them away from the ears. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, left foot steps back. Runner's lunge. Take an inhale here. And exhale, clean step back, downward facing dog. Look forward, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Cobra or up dog. And meeting in our downward facing dog. Begin to look to the top of the mat, bend the knees. You can just tiptoe up, hop up, whatever you're ready for. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Bend the knees, we're rising up into our chair pose. Floating ribs, drawing down, making sure we can see the toes. So heels are heavy, weight is back. Beautiful. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, let the hands come behind the lower back. Interlace the fingers, doesn't matter which thumb's on top. Take an inhale, open up the heart. And exhale, fold down. We can keep a generous bend in the knees because we're not focused on the hamstrings here. We're just trying to push the hands away from that lower back to get a nice shoulder stretch. Maybe we can rock side to side. Nice little shoulder rinse here. Go ahead and release the hands down. Take an inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hands, step it back, move through that vinyasa, shifting through that chaturanga, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels up, hips up. Exhale, lower back down. Begin to look forward, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. This time it's right up, straight up. Hands reach up, and exhale, lower them down, mountain pose, Tadasana. Palms are reaching forward. Feet are about hip width apart. You can soften the gaze, close the eyes, coming back to that intention, feeling the heat you've already generated in your body. Coming back to that intention. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take an inhale, lift up through the crown of the head, and exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, wide-legged stance here. On your next exhale, we can begin to fold forward, maybe keeping a micro bend in the knees. Hands can come to a block just to bring the ground a little closer. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold it down. Toes may be slightly pointed in. Maybe you want to grab onto the outer edges of the feet to pull yourself down. Just finding your edge, not overstretching. Shaking the head, yes. Shaking it, no. Inhale, half lift. Point the toes slightly out. Bend the knees, and we'll rise up into our goddess pose. So hands can be in one of our mudras, index fingers and thumb touching. Hands can be on the hips, whatever feels good for you. Again, drawing those knees out to the pinky toe side of the feet, and you'll feel the outside of your hips engage as you energize and activate. We'll take a few pumps. Inhale, reach up, palms touch at the top, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, lower it down. We'll stay here, see if you can get a little lower, maybe lifting up one heel at a time or both. Now inhale, reach up, point the right toes to the top of the mat, left toes will point slightly forward on a diagonal, and we'll lower down into our warrior two. Shoulders are stacked over the hips here, so maybe we need to shift the shoulders back a little bit. Check in that alignment, so right heel is lined up with the arch of the left foot. We can see ourselves in the mirror. Good. Inhale, pump it up, straighten out the right leg, palms touch, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, reach up. This time it's triangle pose, so see if we can bring the left foot a little closer, hinge the hips forward, and maybe reach towards the mat or a block on the inside or outside of that right foot, and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Rolling the right shoulder away from the right ear. Pressing the torso back, shifting the hips forward towards that blank wall. Take another breath here. Move that block aside if you had it. Begin to look forward. The left heel will rotate up. We'll pass through a runner's lunge, looking forward. Take an inhale, sink the hips down, and exhale, it's a pyramid variation. So straighten out the right leg, shift the hips back. Totally fine if that left heel doesn't touch down. Look forward, inhale, runner's lunge, and exhale, that same pyramid. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, lower down. Again, we can use blocks, 1 or 2, just to bring the ground a little closer. Energize the right toes up. Good, one more breath here. Now we'll re-bend to the right knee, just passing through a runner's lunge. Rotate to the outer blade of the left foot and the right foot. We're walking the hands over to the side of the door we came in through. This is a very deep stretch in that IT band region of the right foot, so maybe we need to shorten up the stance. Good. Inhale, half lift here. And exhale, see if you can lower it down. It's a very deep stretch, so back out of it whenever you need to. Begin to look forward, walk the hands back through center, but we're gonna keep walking them all the way to the back of the mat. Left toes are pointing towards the back of the mat. Lower down the right heel, and we're setting up for our side angle. Left forearm will come to the thigh, right arm will reach up and overhead, right bicep in line with that right ear. We can stay here, or if we'd like to go a little deeper, maybe that left hand can reach down towards a block or to the ground. And if we're ready, it's pretty early on, but we can start to take a half bind, right hand, right arm reaching down towards that left inner thigh. Or if you're ready for a full bind, left arm will reach under that left leg, reaching for the right fingertips. If you're in a bind, take an inhale to release. And on your exhale, we'll all use the core to rise up into warrior 2 facing the back of the mat. We don't have the mirror this time, but we can check in mentally. Where's our body at? Are we aligned with the heel, the arch? Are our shoulders stacked over the hips? Floating ribs are drawing in. Take an inhale, shoulder shrug, and exhale, lower back down. See if we can sink down a little deeper into that left knee, left thigh, firing up here. And we'll straighten out the leg, take a pump just to switch directions. Inhale, palms touch, and exhale, right toes point to the top of the mat, warrior 2. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, we're stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. It's chair pose. Beautiful. Good, holds here. Again, weight is more towards the heels, belly button drawing in, tucking that tailbone. Take an inhale, And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it back, flowing through your vinyasa of choice. Eventually meeting in that downward facing dog. Good, taking a sip of water, toweling off, whatever we need. Knowing we can always take those pauses. If we miss a breath in a pose, totally fine. Inhale, heels up, hips up. Exhale, sigh it all out. Begin to look forward, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Generous bend in the knees, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, reach, arms up. And exhale to side stretch, right hand comes to the outside of the right thigh, left arm reaching over to the door. Hips shifting to the left. Inhale, reach up. And exhale over to the left, hips to the right. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, this time we're stepping the right foot to the back of the mat for that wide-legged stance. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, fold forward. This time, maybe hands want to travel through the legs. Or if an inversion is in your practice, feel free to take it here. If you're still down, maybe rolling one shoulder at a time, bending one knee at a time. And if we're up and inverted, starting to gently, quietly come down. Inhale, half lift. Point the toes on that diagonal, setting up for that goddess squat. So bend the knees, and on your exhale, rising up. Maybe hands can come to the thighs, and if you'd like to drop one shoulder down at a time. Wherever we're at, just finding that stability within ourselves, finding that breath again, if we lost it along the way. We'll take a few pumps. Inhale, reach up, palms touch, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower back down. One more time, reach up, rise up, and we'll set up for that warrior two towards the top of the mat, shifting the toes forward. And on your exhale, lowering down. Right hand should disappear behind you, gazing over the left fingertips. Core should still be engaged here, so belly button drawing down and in. Shoulders staying away from the ears. Take a pump here. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower it back down. Inhale, reach up. Set up for that triangle, so maybe shortening up the stance, hinging the hips forward, and eventually finding the hand on a block or the ground, right hand reaching up. So imagining you're being squeezed between two panes of glass. So we want the torso in line with the hips, with that left leg as much as possible. The spine should stay long, not sacrificing that length for more depth. Take one more inhale, begin to look forward. Right heel pops off the mat, and we'll take that deep stretch. So again, maybe shortening up the stance, walking the hands over to the side of that blank wall this time. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, lower it down. Again, use of blocks here can be very helpful. Take one more breath, and then we'll begin to walk the hands back towards the front, all the way over to the back of the mat. And we'll eventually rise up into that side angle on this side. Left heel is down, similar to that warrior two position and that foundation we have in the feet for this side angle. And again, if your hips are open, maybe reaching the right hand down to the mat or to a block. Left bicep in line with the left ear. Keeping pinky toe side of the left foot grounded. Taking that half bind or full bind, if it's accessible on this side. And if we took that bind, take an inhale to release, and exhale, lift up into that warrior two, facing the back of the mat still. Sink down a little deeper. Inhale, take that pump just to switch the directions, parallel the feet. And as you exhale, left toes point to the top of the mat. Good. Beautiful. See if we can bend that left knee just a little deeper. Take an inhale. And exhale, step forward into that chair pose. Hands can reach up or come to heart center. Inhale, reach both arms up, and exhale, it's water wheel. So right hand will come back, left arm forward. Inhale, right hand comes forward and up, and exhale, water wheel to the left. Beautiful. Inhale, reach both arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping it back through that vinyasa, or just meeting in the downward facing dog. Inhale, heels up, hips up, and exhale, sink them back down. Begin to look forward, step, hop or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, and on your exhale, we're revisiting that chair pose, reaching the arms up. This time though, we'll bring the right leg, cross it over the left, setting up for our eagle. So we can find eagle arms here as well. Right arm will come under the left. Finding that single or double bind. Right toes can reach towards the mat, or if you have that bind, reaching them behind the left calf. Reach the elbows up. They should be in line with the chest. Good. Keeping that wrap in the arms, we'll unwind the right leg, send it back, warrior three. Should feel a nice stretch in the upper back as we move the elbows away from the face, hands away from the face. Shoulders should be above the hips here. And go ahead and release that bind in the arms. They're reaching back. Finding your drishti, your point of balance out in front of you. You are this strong. If you come down from it, you can always come back up. Take one more inhale here. We're almost done with this leg. Way to hold it. And see if without touching down, we can bring the right leg out in front of us. Hands can come out to the sides, to the hips, or maybe up, growing those branches. See if we can lift the right toes a little higher. And exhale, set it down, hands come to heart center. Beautiful energy, great job. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Feeling that difference between the right leg, the left leg, that energy you've created. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, finding that chair pose, sinking the hips down. And eventually we'll bring that left leg up, cross it over the right. Left arm comes under. Hands come away from the face. Finding a still point can be really helpful in trying to balance. It doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. Keeping the bind here in the arms, unwind the legs, send the left toes back. Big toe is pointing down, so we're keeping the hips square, not letting that left hip open up. And on your next inhale, just unwinding the arms, airplane wings here, or hands at Anjali Mudra, heart center. Begin to shift forward, bring the left leg out in front. Hands can reach up. See if we can draw those toes a little bit higher. Beautiful. And bring it back down. Inhale, reach up, rise up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, half lift, and move through your vinyasa. Meeting in that downward facing dog. Wonderful. Inhale, heels up, hips up. Side all out, heels sink down. Feet come together, back of the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Begin to look forward. It's core plank, right knee to chest. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow or tricep. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow or tricep. Reach it back out on your inhale. Last one here, you've got it. Exhale, core plank. See if we can draw that knee up a little bit higher, making contact, and step it through. We'll rise up into our crescent. Hands can come to the right thigh, to the hips, or whenever we're ready, reaching them up towards the sky. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, water wheel. Body turning towards that door. Maybe the right hand can come to the back of the left thigh, reach the left arm towards the back of the room. Take an inhale to come out of that. And exhale, we'll plant the left hand down. It's lunge twist. So maybe shifting the right foot out to the side to make some room for the hips. Again, that left shoulder rolling away from the left ear. Lots of energy in those right fingertips. Pushing the left heel back. Left kneecap drawing up into the thigh. Lots of energy in that quad and that thigh. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, right hand comes down. We're framing out the right foot. Drop the left knee down. Keep the toes tucked. We'll shift the hips back into our half monkey. So maybe you need to scooch the left knee back a bit so it's stacked under the left hip. Similar to that modified pyramid we did earlier. Lots of energy in the right toes. Check in, maybe right hand will come to the right hip and shift it back a bit. Inhale to lift up halfway, and exhale, lower down. Again, use of blocks here can be very helpful. On each inhale, we come out of the pose a little bit, and each exhale, see if we can melt a little bit deeper, surrendering to this pose. Inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale, we'll begin to shift the hips back. So eventually, we'll lift that left knee, and we can stay here, or if we'd like a little balance, maybe coming up, hands coming to heart center. And if you're ready for a bit more and your legs aren't too tired, we can see if we can lift that right heel off the mat. So it'll help to shift the hips back. We can also bring the hands down or to blocks, see if we can do it there, and then add that balance component. Good. It's a practice, not a perfect. Great focus, everyone. Wherever we're at, we'll begin to shift back forward, passing through that runner's lunge. Inhale to drop the hips, and exhale, left foot meets the right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back to that runner's lunge. We'll scooch the left foot further out towards the edge of the mat, setting up for our lizard so we can stay up high, or we can drop that right knee down, untuck the toes, maybe bringing the hands to a block or down to the forearms. Left big toe can stay planted, or you can come onto the outer blade of that left foot. Just a slightly different stretch here. We can push the left thigh away. If you'd like a little quad stretch after that little lift we did, you can reach towards the right toes with that left hand and open up the chest. Take one more breath here. Drawing your focus, your awareness back to this moment. Begin to look forward, let go of that foot if you had it. Retuck the right toes and clean step back with that left foot, downward facing dog. Either staying here, maybe taking a little pause in child's pose, or flowing through your vinyasa. Good. Eventually, we'll all meet back in that downward facing dog. Feet come together, back of the mat. Last wave of energy here. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Begin to look forward. Exhale, core plank, knee to nose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow or tricep. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow or tricep. Inhale, down dog split. And exhale, core plank. See if we can draw it up a little higher. Hold and step it through. Setting up for that crescent at your pace. Eventually, those arms will reach up. Take an inhale, shoulder shrug. Exhale, melt them away. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, water wheel, facing that blank wall. Again, here, making sure we're not leaning forward. If we are, just check in, start to lean back. And again, if we took that option on the other side, left hand will come to the back of the right thigh, right arm reaching towards the windows. Take an inhale to come out, and exhale, plant the right hand down, lunge, twist. Again, widening up the stance with the left foot, left arm reaching up. Energizing right heel back. Begin to look down. We'll frame out that left foot. Drop that right knee down, shifting back into that half monkey. So again, adjusting here as necessary, using those blocks if needed. Inhale to lift up halfway, and exhale, mount forward, reaching the chest towards the toes. Take one more breath here. Inhale, half lift. And as you exhale, we'll draw the left heel back. Getting ready for that on this side. So again, we can stay here, and this can be your variation, and that's completely fine. Or if you'd like a little balance, hands can come to heart center. Maybe if you'd like to play around with lifting that left leg up, just play around with it, have fun with it. Don't forget to smile. Yeah. Yeah, you feel the shakiness. Begin to drop that left heel down, and we'll crawl forward, passing through that runner's lunge. Take an inhale to sink the hips down, and exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, setting up for our lizard on this side. So again, bringing the right foot out more towards the outer edge of the mat. Again, we can stay up high or drop that left knee down and untuck the toes. Take whatever variation is good for you today. It does feel nice to get that quad stretch if you attempted to lift it up earlier. If we had that foot, go ahead and release. Hands will come back down, tuck the left toes, clean step back with the right foot, downward facing dog. Drop the knees down here and scooch the hands forward a little bit. We'll take puppy pose. So bringing the chin down to the mat, hips are still high. It's the difference between this one and our child's pose. Nice stretch for that upper back, for the chest. Begin to look up. We'll re-tuck the toes, coming back into our downward facing dog, moving through one last vinyasa if you'd like. Feet come together, back of the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg up. And exhale, right knee to right wrist. And we'll come down into our pigeon pose. We can always take this down on our backs if this is a lot for the knees, or if there's a lot of space under that right hip, maybe sitting on a block. Taking any wiggles that get us comfortable, maybe starting to come down. Again, bringing your mind back here. If it drifts, totally fine. Find that acceptance and just bring the awareness back. Again, on each inhale, maybe we're lifting out of the pose a bit, and each exhale brings us a little deeper. If we were down, we'll begin to walk the hands back up to lift up. Weight comes over to the right hip, and we'll just open up into a half straddle facing the blank wall. Take an inhale, reach up. Begin to rotate the torso over to that left leg, and on your exhale, reaching down towards that foot, the toes, maybe the shin. And to walk the hands back up. Take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, maybe walking the hands forward, keeping that left sit bone planted. We'll rise gently out of that, walk the hands back forward, and we'll rotate back on to the top of the left thigh. So we're just passing through pigeon, retuck the left toes, clean step back, downward facing dog. Feet come together. Inhale, reach the left leg up. And exhale, step it through pigeon pose, left knee to left wrist. Again, shifting side to side. Maybe bringing the right foot back a bit. Finding your edge, your place of comfort. We're so used to moving fast, moving through the day. It can be hard to stay present in these moments of stillness. So it can help to find something to focus on. Maybe a bead of sweat trailing down your arm. Maybe your breath filling up the belly. Whatever it is, just focusing on the here and now. And quietly begin to lift out if we were laying down. Shifting the weight down towards the left side and just bringing it to that half straddle on this side. Take an inhale, reach up. On your exhale, we'll shift the torso towards that right leg and bring it down. You can just walk the hands through center, maybe reaching forward if that feels good, or staying right where you're at. On your next inhale, we'll begin to reach up, rise up. Just walking the hands forward to pass through that pigeon pose. Retucking the right toes, clean step back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees down, to pass through a tabletop. Untuck the toes. And we'll lower down into a child's pose. Hands can come to either side of the legs for a more relaxing child's pose. Forehead can be down, or maybe left temple down on the mat. If we had one side of the head down, just switch out the directions. And slowly rise out. Just swing the feet over to one side so we can sit back. Wide foot stance here. Hands are propping us up behind our lower back, and just let the legs swing side to side. Windshield wiper here. Find some stillness with the knees pointing up. Take an inhale, reach both arms forward. And as you exhale, lower down slowly, breathing through that sticky point. Last bit of core here. And lower down all the way. Legs come up, arms come up for our sleeping tiger, just to reverse that blood flow after so much time on our hands and on our feet. Should be close to zero effort pose here. And slowly we'll begin to drizzle the limbs down one at a time, lowering right leg down. Once the right leg touches, lowering down the left. Then the right hand. Left arm. Eventually finding our final resting pose, Shavasana. Enjoying after the effort you've put in, and I'll guide you back. Begin to wiggle the toes, the fingers. We can end our practice here, or maybe roll over to one side for fetal position. Taking a moment to end our practice with gratitude. Gratitude that our bodies are able to do what they do for us. That we're able to make the time to come to our mats, to share our energy, to receive energy. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence here in practice. Thank you for letting me be your guide. Namaste. And take your time. As we get up, enjoy the stillness for as long as you'd like.